factors around that is going to be the experience. I mean, we cannot emphasize enough on the user experience, and it is the smallest things that sometimes matter. I mean, it is a known fact that your, should I say, dropout rate of a person coming to your website goes up by 40% if your page load time is more than 3 seconds. So now that is a minuscule factor that plays into it. But overall, when you add things, I mean, like I said, I mean, and I don't exactly want to sound pitchy about it, but there is a reason and there is a method to why we do what we do. Why did we say that we are going to go out and we are going to create a platform that will combine these technologies and give the customer an experience into the brand, not just static 2D images with description and price, but an experience of what the brand is about, immersing into it. It's just like walking into a Nike store or a Louis Vuitton store, where you get to see what the brand is about, what their current campaign is about. So that entire experience will play a pivotal role in that, which includes and combines ease of use. The second one is going to be the value factor of the entire affair, which is the main driver at this point in time. I am, should I say, guilty of that as well. I just said it on stage that I actually went across and bought a pair of shoes online after I had tried them on inside the mall a few days earlier because I got them for 40% off. So value is one of the factors. And the third one is going to be delivery. So how easily, how quickly, how conveniently, and how swiftly people can receive their goods. Because again, what is the one thing, I mean, I think the biggest adrenaline high that we get out of shopping is when we buy a product is to go home and try it on one more time. Now imagine you've bought a product without trying it on. The last thing you want is it reaching you 2 weeks later. So these are going to be some of the user-led factors. Besides that, there are several things which will play a pivotal role in this, which is infrastructure, which is payment processing systems, which I still believe are coming of age at this point in time, logistics and delivery, last mile, which is a very, should I say, a crucial point of the entire delivery infrastructure. Yes, USA is talking about making X number of deliveries through drones. When you bring that drone scenario into an environment like Dubai, for instance, where everybody lives in a vertical city, how exactly are you going to manage that? So there are several points across that, but these three would pretty much sum it up. I firmly believe that retail is very much here to stay. There is a certain term which people use quite often, and when you ask them what it means, everybody has a slightly different definition of that. It is omni-channel. So omni-channel, people have a different definition of it. So omni-channel basically is a flawless, transition of a customer experience across different mediums. So it could start off from online, move on to in-mall, go on to a kiosk or an interactive movie where you can actually go and see something, do something, scan something, download something, and probably watch their ad on television and send them a message with a unique code. Sorry, bad example. But it is a flawless experience that a customer can have across mediums. Omnichannel is going to strengthen. Never will we get out of the habit of not being in store to make certain purchases. Yes, with the advent, I mean, it's a bit of an oxymoron of what I'm saying over here. We, on one end, are saying that we're going to bridge the gap between on-ground and online, but the intention is not to kill retail. The intention is to enhance e-commerce. There will always be that therapeutic charm of being inside a mall, window shopping, and buying those three things that you did not need and you probably will not use. E-commerce, on the other hand, will provide you that same opportunity, but it will be slightly measured. So no, the answer is, I don't think. See, it's very interesting. I mean, the question that you asked is like the experience from e-commerce to on-ground retail is very different, and what do people expect? The expectation comes across. I literally this morning came across an ad on Instagram which stated that if you can wait 2 weeks for delivery, you can get this product at 80% discount. Their pitch was late delivery. Their pitch was extended delivery time, and they were justifying it with value. The experience is very different. The experience is perhaps not as wholesome as it can be, and therefore the expectation that customers have from online is straight up value. That if I'm going to buy it without trying it on, it has to cost less. If I'm going to take it without tasting it, it should be at a price where I can sort of justify why I'm doing it. However, and this, we are saying it because we are not just advocating this, we are actually developing platforms which are going to minimize this experience gap. And once that happens, convenience and the ability to compare, ability to browse, ability to ask what your friends think about it, ability to ask what the world thinks about a certain pair of shoes that you want to buy, will take precedence over this value aspect of it. So as the experience gets closer and more flawless, it will be value adds other than just value that will play a pivotal role in, should I say, the popularity or the penetration of e-commerce. See, I wouldn't exactly say obstacles, but I would say that there are some things which cannot be referred to as an exact science. I mean, e-commerce as an industry is, I often say one thing, that often people say that e-commerce is the business of selling goods to people online. I believe that while it might be factual, but it's not exactly accurate. It's factual, but it's not accurate. E-commerce is the business of delivering an experience and understanding the behavior of the people who come across, is learning from what people come across and do onto your portal, your app, your website. What did they buy last time? What did they not buy last time? When did they not buy it? Did they drop out at the cart page? Did they drop out because they didn't like the color of the buy button? Or did they drop out because the description was not descriptive enough? So, the challenges around that are not exactly challenges. This is what the business is. Learning how your customers behave. Now, there was a very fine panel discussion on the inside where people were speaking about one-to-many relationship between e-commerce, between a portal, a marketplace, and customers, that you profile and you put your customers into a basket, that these guys are petrol heads and these are shopaholics and these guys are, I don't know, shoe divas, whatever that might be, and then you target them individually. With the advent of technologies like artificial intelligence and machine learning, it doesn't have to be in buckets. This relationship can be one-on-one. However, there's a lot of work to be done on that. And the question comes about, do you want to work with an older infrastructure because your shop is open and people are coming, or do you want to invest not just in money, but even in time, people, and intellect into enhancing that experience? Hurdles and obstacles, like you mentioned, on the other end, because riding on the back of this, most e-commerce portals struggle to be profitable during the first few years of their operations, because many a times the average order value versus the cost of acquisition of your customer tends to be slightly disbalanced. So customer retention is led through the experience and value that you offer to them. So not exactly a hurdle. I think the infrastructure that we have around us is pretty conducive to the entire thing. It's just about looking into what people would want, not tomorrow, but 2 years from now.